All right, Brandon. Obviously a tough one tonight, but you had a stellar game, 18 points, 15 rebounds. Just kind of talk about the game itself and then how you played tonight.
The game itself, I feel like we played well in the first half. Just small mental mistakes here and there, just missed defensive assignments, burns on defense. But I feel like we played good, but it's a lot that we can improve on. So,
And your performance as well.
uh, like every night, I try my best to play as hard as I possibly can. So whatever my coach needs me to do, whatever these guys need me to do, I'm here for it. So.
Can you just talk about how frustrating that is? Obviously you guys took the loss, but you guys really had a low turnover game. You guys were crashing the glass. Is it one of those games where you guys are fighting to get back in it? It's just was a poor shooting night overall.
Yeah, it was definitely tough for sure because with us not shooting the ball that well, it made it tougher for our defense. So we got guys in that locker room that can knock down shots. I see it every day. We work on it every day. So it's just one of those nights, but we'll bounce back from it.
And then you personally, you look really explosive. Obviously you were missed off last year. And are you really comfortable just getting in the game flows now and just, with a double-double tonight? Are you really fully comfortable getting back on the floor and just being the X factor every night there?
Absolutely. Missing the game for a whole year. I learned a lot sitting on the sideline. So I was just ready to jump in and execute what I learned in the offseason. So.
And then tonight you're also scoring from a lot of different areas. Was there a particular matchup that you were looking to exploit there out on the floor against them?
Nothing in particular. If the coach tell me to go get a bucket, I'm just gonna try my best to go get that bucket. So.
Brandon, there was a lot of losses last year and you didn't play. We've lost 4 in a row now. How do you stop, I don't want to say the bleeding, but kind of how do you stop the momentum of losing, learning what you learned last year?
Not getting down on ourselves because last year during that stretch, there was a lot of finger pointing going on, and in a situation like this, in a time like this, we got to bond together. So as long as we stick together, we'll be fine.
How do you use this game for yourself and as a team to kind of get ready for Saturday?
We got to take it one day at a time. Every day in practice would be useful for going into Saturday, but we'll be ready for sure.
Yeah, I mean I liked our effort. We're in the middle of a terrible shooting slump, right now, and that's probably the opening and ending statement. I'd be really worried if I hadn't seen us do it before. But we know we got some guys that can shoot the ball better on the perimeter. Oakland's a team that coming into here defensively, I think they're 5th or 6th in the nation in terms of how many threes they let up. That's their game. We knew we'd have to make shots from the perimeter. They let up over half of their shots that they allow are from the three-point line. And if you knock them down, you got a real shot at beating them. It's kind of 3 on one end and 2 on the other, is what they're willing to play because they got some big dudes down there, and Hill Mays is a load. I'll be at his graduation to make sure he walks across the stage. I'd be happy to hand the diploma to him and get him out of here. But him and Brechting are 2 big guys down there. They're 5th-year guys, probably somewhere between 23 and 24 years old, and our young pups got a lesson down there early, and Brandon had a great night, for us, but we just couldn't knock down shots tonight, and that's been going on here since Florida, and if we knock down shots, we got a different ballgame. The lead kind of hung out around 5 to 7 or 8 almost the entire night. If we could have knocked down some shots, that's what they were giving us, which makes Brandon's numbers even all that much more impressive, because they were laying back in on everything and challenging us or daring us almost to shoot threes, and we just couldn't knock them down. And then on the other end, Hill Mays is really, really good player down low. We tried everything with him. We tried trapping him, tried pushing him out. Titus picked up foul trouble early. That's our one really strong guy that could battle with him. And it just we trapped. We went zone. We trapped. We trapped from different spots on the floor as well. And so it's just way too much pressure on our defense when we're not shooting the ball that well.
Yeah, you talk about the shooting slump. It seemed like there are certainly a few times you got late in the shot clock, maybe didn't get a quality shot, but for most of the game it seemed like you guys were getting pretty good shots. Would that be your assessment of it?
Yeah, I thought we did. I thought we got some good shots early. We might have even passed up some, early. I thought we should have let go, and so yeah. I mean, it's one of those things that can get mental. When you start missing shots on the perimeter, and especially if it's gone on 2 or 3 games. So it really is just a matter of getting the guys. The guys got to find the time to get back in the gym. I know our guys. You get about a half hour to an hour, walk back into the gym. There's going to be 4 or 5, if not more, back out here getting up shots. They really care a lot. And like I said, I'd be really worried. Nobody wants to lose games. I hate it. There's nobody more competitive. This will really bother me for a long time. I'll remember it, so don't mistake my tone. But at the same time, what I'm looking at is big picture stuff and making sure that we're right by the time we get to the end of December and January. And conference play begins. There's three seasons. I've always said there's a non-conference part of the schedule, then there's conference play, then you've got the conference tournament. And so right now it's about trying to make sure we figure out our way to some smooth air and get our guys playing well and confident basketball. Right now we're not real confident on the perimeter.
And then, only turn the ball over 5 times, and then getting 13 offensive rebounds. Like you said, there are some positives from a basketball IQ and probably an effort standpoint. Those are things you have to like.
Huge things for us. Huge things for us. We're just missing shots. We can point at a lot of things right now. Oakland shoots the ball pretty well. I'm talking about they're a high percentage team inside because of Hill Mays, because of Brechting, because of Oladipo. Those guys, they're big dudes, and you, like I said, you got to kind of the teams that shoot the ball well from the perimeter. It's 3 for me, 2 for you. And you can play that game if you're knocking them down, because that's what they give up. But we just missed them. We just missed them tonight, and after we started missing, and I don't know how many of them seem to go halfway down and come back out. And if you knock down just 2, 3 of those more, we're dealing with a tie ball game. You knock down 2 or 3 threes, it becomes contagious. We missed some free throws tonight as well. We just are in the middle of a shooting slump. The effort's there, the IQ is there, as you talked about. We're not turning the ball over. We're running defensively. There's real effort being forced or being made. We on the road trip we held Oklahoma State to 37%, held Seattle to 37%. Tonight they shot the ball well, taking it inside on us. We gotta knock down shots. This game's hard to win basketball games when you don't put the ball in the hole. And the rest of the things are there, like you talked about: offensive rebounds, effort, all of those things, togetherness. All of those. Our locker room was fantastic afterwards, talking about what they have to do. All of those things are there, except for shooting the ball right now. And that's kind of the name of the game here too. So we got to get it solved. But when we do, I really like where this team's going.
Coach, can you talk about from last year? We dealt with kind of a string of losses back to back to back, and we're kind of going through that right now. But how do you stop it this year, maybe compared to last year?
Yeah, I mean, last year I felt like that I had to say a lot, and there was when we were dealing with the back-to-back losses last year, we also knew what we were dealing with, the injuries in youth. We had 3 guys out. We got Squeaky out right now. Patrick's feeling better after coming off a strep throat, but he's not quite there yet. And so that's not they are actually doing. When I walked into the locker room afterwards, they were having that conversation. They were talking about, how. They had already assessed the game. I was getting ready to come in and assess the game, and I heard them talking about, hey guys, we missed a bunch of shots tonight. This game's not gonna define us. There's a lot of basketball in our season, conference play. Let's get ourselves right. Let's find the gym. They were talking about all those things, and that is what has to be done. And so mentally, I'm not worried about. There's some good basketball teams we've lost to. And so I'm not worried about the losing. I'd really be worried about the losing if, like I said, we didn't know what it was or we didn't think we could do it. Last year, I was really worried about it. Last year, it's like, okay, those 3 guys are out. We got a really young basketball team. They're playing. They're getting beat up. We don't have the pieces we need. Right now, we have the pieces we need. We need them to play more confident. Obviously, we'll get Squeak back here in a couple of weeks. That gives us another inside threat, and a driving threat and a scoring threat and a playmaking threat, as well. And some of the rest of the things are going on positive. There's good growth with Titus. I thought, there's confidence there. He battled in there. These guys aren't scared of the stage, and we've seen some good basketball out of them. Got to shoot the ball, man. We got to shoot the ball. We get the open shots. They're executing. They're unselfish. And there was one game I didn't think we were unselfish. That was a Seattle game. I thought our guys pressed too much, took some bad shots. As Seth talked about, we ran some good offense tonight. And they had some really good looks. And if we knock those down early, it's probably a different ball game because they got to come out and get us. But we didn't. And that was the name of the game tonight. So we'll be fine. This group here will be fine. It's a positive group. I've seen a lot of wins around this place. I know what makes up a good team. These guys have what it takes to be a good basketball team. And as soon as we start making shots, I think that the confidence returns, the energy is there. We had one of our all-time greats in here tonight, Manny Newsom, and he caught me right before I came into here, and he said, you get these young guys shooting the ball, and he said, watch out. He said, because I really like the way you guys play in terms of the effort and so forth and so on. It's just a matter of you can't substitute experience, and so Biartis knocks down some shots. Ralphie knocks down some shots. We get the ball to drop from the perimeter. Then they're not going to be able to really load up on Mike and then Brandon as much. We got to get some more out of our guys inside, like Titus and Chase. And we've seen them do it. Like I said, we've seen them do it. So I'm confident. I'm confident in the group moving forward. Really like the team a lot. It's like everything else, when there's adversity, there's really only one thing to do, and that's work. You just work. So tomorrow we have our mandatory NCAA day off, and we'll take the day off there, and then we'll get back to work on Thursday. Friday, get ready for another home game on Saturday against Youngstown State, and then we got final exams before we head out to New York and play Manhattan. And then we turn right back around, come back, got a 9D1 to wrap it up in Aquinas, and hopefully we can get ourselves on a little roll right before Christmas. And when we come back, we got Michigan State and then conference play. So we're moving. I like a lot of the growth that we've had. Got to make shots. Got to make shots. That's the big thing. And from that standpoint, these guys will do it. They'll do it. I've got confidence in them.
How much did Wright, getting that? I mean, he was in foul trouble in the first half, but getting that third foul early, in the second half, just in a game where you're trying to hang in there and scrap and claw, and he's, good down there inside for you. How much did that hurt you there throughout the game?
Yeah, it did. The 2 fouls hurt more than the third foul, but the 2 fouls definitely hurt because it happened so quick. And that was, when we prepared for the game defensively, we thought that was him and Brandon were two guys, and then I'd throw Jason into that mix as well, Whitens. We felt like could not get in foul trouble. Jason, without having Squeak, right now we thought Jason was our best bet to deal with Oladipo at the 3. And then we felt like Brandon and Titus had to deal a lot with Brechting and Hill Mays. And so when we went to Chase, when he got in foul trouble, when Titus got in foul trouble, we went to Chase. He was giving up, 50 pounds, and got tossed around a little bit. We had to go small. Jason picked up 2 fouls there as well. But I was okay with it, because we were down 6, I think, at half, and I was okay with, we're going to second half. We'll try and keep our guys out of foul trouble. But then he picked up his 3rd foul there pretty quick. It's bad. I'm not crazy about the call on that one, but he picked it up. It is what it is, and that hurt us there a little bit as well. But by then, I thought that the bigger issue for us was shooting the ball. We were doing a little better defensively in the second half, and when Jason was out of foul trouble, but we were struggling to shoot from the perimeter, and so I decided to go with a smaller lineup that I thought might be able to give us the opportunity to play make, get to the rim, or shoot the ball better, spread them out a little bit more, and we just didn't knock down those shots, So it definitely changed, some of the flow, some of our plan. But even if he had stayed out of foul trouble, I think it would have helped us defensively. But I don't know how much it would have helped us offensively, because the way Oakland plays, they dare you to shoot the 3, and we didn't get it done.